Hey, so hey there guys, I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I wasn't able to tell you guys after I got home from work because I had a little Super Bowl thing. Like I said, my best friend came over and my brother's best friend came over and we just had a little Super Bowl thing. My mom bought wings, she got like chips and she made dip. She made guacamole actually and it was really good. We had some chili. We had some meatballs with teriyaki sauce, and that was really good too. Or actually, it was barbecue sauce. I don't think it was teriyaki. My dad was like, yeah, it's teriyaki. I'm like, I don't think so for the meatball sauce. I think it was barbecue, and it was good. And then just like some veggies and ranch, and it was really good. So I primed oh my god, I'm so tired. I have a headache too because I drink quite a bit of wine. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior Backstage powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I went into the ColourPop Flirty Talk palette because obviously it's the week of Valentine's Day. I cannot believe it's already Valentine's Day. But I like using this palette when Valentine's Day rolls around, and also it's ColourPop, so I did want to use this palette today. It's so cute. So I went in with Talk to Me in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Your Fave. And then I used a different shade on the outer corners. I'll tell you guys in a second. And then for my lid, I just really wanted to use the super sparkly shade. This one's so pretty. This is my favorite shade in the palette, which is called Be Mine. And then for my brow bone, I went in with On Your Mind. And then for the inner corners, I went in with Cuddle Up. So that's what I used today because I wanted to use, a couple of ColourPop palettes lately because, again, I haven't really used ColourPop lately. So I was like, I need to use, like, a couple of them. But also, like, this is one of my only Valentine's Day palettes in my collection. So that's why I like using it now. And then for the outer corners, I went into the Blend Bunny. Where the heck did that cap just go? I just dropped a cap. I mean. I went into the Blend Bunny Brighter. Oh my fucking god. Why am I dropping literally everything right now? I went into the shade Unforgettable on the outer corners from the Forget Me Not palette, not the Brighter Days palette. I literally call it Brighter Days at this point because... But again, this was like kind of a waste of money for me because I never use the eyeshadows in here. I just use it for the highlighters pretty much. And then for my waterline, I forgot what I was up to in my makeup. I went into the LA Girl liner in the shade White because I really like white and pink together. And then for my mascara, I just went into the Essence Lash Primer, and then I used the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I haven't used this in a while, and it actually looked really good today, so I just used that, and then I used the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes, and then I primed my face with the, what did I use? The Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, like I always do. And then for my foundation, I wanted to go into my Tom Ford one again, so this is the Tom Ford Traceless Foundation Stick in the shade 0.0 Pearl, so I just used that guy. And then for my concealer, I just went into my favorite, which is the Tarte C Concealer. This is a Hydro Flex Concealer in the shade Porcelain 8S because I knew my makeup was going to be on for a while today, so that's why I used that. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Dior Backstage powder. I have a headache, so that's why. Because I drank a lot of wine, so I had like half the bottle. And then for my bronzer, because I knew I wasn't going anywhere, so I kind of wanted to drink a little. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Gucci bronzer in the shade 01. Really pretty. And I think that's why my brother drove my friend home, because he knew he was going to drink a little bit. So that was actually pretty smart. And then for my blush, because my brother doesn't really drink, so that was actually really nice. And then for my blush, I went into the ColourPop Alice blush in the shade Oh Dear. I actually haven't even used this year, so I was like, you know what, I kind of want to just go into this one because it's just a beautiful pink shade, and I used this a lot when I first got it, but I haven't really used it that much since then, so I was like, I'm going to use that today. And then for my highlight, I also went into ColourPop. I didn't realize they were all ColourPop. Hello, but I also wanted to use this highlighter because I hadn't used it in quite a while. So this is the ColourPop Super Shock highlighter in the shade Felicity. And then I set my face with the with the Milk Makeup Spray. And then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. My hair is killing me. And then for my lips, I went into the Makeup Forever lip liner in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. And then for my lips, I just went into a classic shade that probably everyone and their mama owns, but it is I actually really love the formula of this lipstick, but I would never pay, for Charlotte Tilbury again, but I do love this lipstick. I would recommend this to anybody because it is an amazing lipstick, and it's, of course, it's the shade Pillow Talk. This is kind of the most Valentine's-y kind of lipstick that I own, besides the ColourPop one, the Ultra Glowing Lip, which I'm probably going to wear on Valentine's Day too. And yeah, that's it. And then as far as a book update goes, I finished A Court of Wings and Ruin last night. And the reason why it's called A Court of Wings and Ruin is because it literally ruined my life. Like, literally just ruined me emotionally. I was crying so much. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see me crying. Like, it was amazing. Oh my God, that book was so good, but I was a little bit emotionally scarred after I read it. I was like, why do people keep on saying they need therapy after they read these books? And after I read the third one, I was like, now I understand. So I started the fourth book. I didn't really start it till this morning because I kind of just fell asleep last night because I finished the other book. So I was like, I literally just started this today and I'm on page 50. So this book is not going to take me that long because this is literally the shortest one. I can kind of understand why this one isn't really everybody's favorite because it's kind of slow. After coming off the high of Wings and Ruin, I thought that this was going to be a nice break, which it is, but it's still a little slow. So, but I only have like 150 pages left, so I'm probably going to finish this in like 2 days, but it's just a little slow. But I'm going to go read now because I haven't been able to read since I was at work. But, yeah, that's about it. And I'll be on the last one in like probably 2 days, like I said. Because again, that's only 223 pages, so at least this one's a lot shorter. Thank God it's shorter. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm really hungry right now. And I also have this pimple patch here. Don't mind that, but I kind of woke up with a whitehead. So, that's just gonna stay. I always see people like wear them with makeup looks anyway, so I always see the fancy face doing it, so like I'm just gonna do it too. Because, yeah, it wasn't really that pleasant. So we had our whole Super Bowl shindig last night. It was really fun. I'm just gonna see my boyfriend today. It's a little bit dramatic for today, but I really wanted to use this palette with this Frozen sweat jacket, so, well, Frozen hoodie. I got this at the Broadway musical like a couple of years back, like before COVID. I think it was like 2019 or something, 2018. It's been a few years and I love this thing, so I just really wanted to wear it today. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Kaja Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I just went back into the Nomad New Zealand Stargazing palette. Probably after today, I'm not going to use this palette as much. I just wanted to use it again. I think I've only used like a couple of the shades twice. I think it's only been these two again, but I just really wanted to use it. So I went in with Auckland Stardome in the crease, and then I just darkened up the crease and the outer corner with Carter Observatory. And then for the lid, I just went all over the lid with Southern Cross, which is just such a beautiful duochrome, well, multi-chrome actually. And then I just went into Aurora Australis on the inner corners, and that's all I used from the palette today. And then I just went in with Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone. And then for my waterline, I went into Amethyst Hour by ColourPop. I don't know if I feel amazing about the blush choice that I did. It's like a lighter pink, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to do a bit of a more subtle pink on the cheeks and the lips just because the eyes were a little bit more dramatic, so I think it's fine. And then I just went into my ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I went into the Makeup Forever HD Skin Undetectable Stay True Foundation in the shade 1RO2. And then for my concealer, I went into the Coinciding Concealer, the Makeup Forever one, in the shade, what is it? 1.1N, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder, and I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder. And then for my bronzer and blush, I wanted to go into some cream products, so I went back into my ColourPop bronze sticks in the shade Laguna Beach. I just hadn't used it in a little while, and I had the time to use a cream bronzer today, so I just went in with that. And then for my blush, like I said, I went into a cream blush, and this is the Milani blush in the shade Nude Kiss. This is the Cheek Kiss in the shade Nude Kiss. And I think it looks pretty, so it's fine. And then for my highlight, I just went into the Wet n Wild highlighter in the shade Blossom Glow. I haven't used this in a hot second, and it's just beautiful, so I just went in with that. It just goes perfectly with this look. And then I set my face with the Do It spray, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Blush Gel. And then for my lips, I just went into the Tower 28 Juicy Tinted Lip Balm. Tinted Lip Balm in the shade Shake, and that's all I used for that. I mean, I don't know, I'm probably not going to be picking up any more makeup for a while, but I do want to get some lip products. Because I think I'm going to do just another lipstick declutter. I finally got rid of, like, the lipsticks I had decluttered, like, a while back. They've just been sitting in my room for months, and I just never filmed a declutter. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to throw these out. I'm like, it's never going to happen. And I already have a few other videos to post, but they just get backed up with me reading. So, but I'm kind of interested in getting the new Tower 28. One of the new Tower 28 lip balms, and I also want to get one of the new Summer Fridays lip oils. We'll see. Because I'm kind of thinking about returning the Clarins one and just picking up one of the Summer Fridays ones. Because I'm not really into the Clarins one. I don't really like it. I don't like the scent of it whatsoever. It's like so strong. So I might be in the minority of those, but I just hate the scent of it. So anyway, as far as a reading update goes, I started A Court of Frost and Starlight basically this morning. Well, actually, I read last night. So I started it last night, I mean. I started it yesterday, oh my god. And I got like 100 pages in yesterday, like I said. And then today, now I'm on page 172. So I should be done with this by tonight. I only have like 50 pages left. So I read like 60 pages this afternoon. So this one isn't really that long. It's only 229 pages. So I should finish it by tomorrow. And then I should be on to A Court of Silver Flames. And however long that book takes me to read, it's not a huge deal because it is the longest book that I'm going to read this month. So after that, I'm just so excited to move on to some shorter books, but also, like, I've just been absolutely loving this series so much. So I'm gonna go. Bye! Okay, so hey there, guys. So, I just want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. It is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to whoever celebrates. Again, if you don't have a Valentine, fuck that. It's not really that important, honestly. Don't let it get to you because, seriously, it's not a huge deal. Like, you can be your own Valentine. Take yourself out. Go pamper yourself. Just do something for you today. Because, honestly, taking care of your mental health is kind of the best thing that you can do for yourself. I took a mental health day yesterday. I didn't even do makeup yesterday for the first time in months. And it felt so nice. I just read and watched Desperate Housewives, and it was magical. I loved it so much. But I did have I was starting to get a slight cold yesterday, and now I feel like I do have a cold, so at least it's not the flu. I think it's just a cold, because I don't feel that bad, and I sound worse than I feel. Like, my nose isn't that bad, so it's not the worst cold I've ever had. So I primed so today was Valentine's Day, so I went and saw my boyfriend, and we just ordered Chinese food and watched shows. That's all we did. Because it's honestly, like, way too cold to go out. And honestly, like, I didn't really want to go out because I didn't feel that well. So I'm like, yeah, can we just, like, chill out? So that's all we did. And that's what we usually do anyway. We're probably going to go out for his birthday next month instead, or, like, start going out more next month. We've actually went on a few dates lately. So today wasn't really, like, a huge deal. And honestly, like, we don't like making it a huge deal. We just, like, chill out. So honestly, after, like, the first time, like, it doesn't really matter if he takes me out or not. I'm not that kind of girlfriend. I'd rather just chill and watch movies and get high. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer. And then I just used the Kajal Lip Oil. And then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow today, I went into the ColourPop Flirty Talk palette again. Because obviously it's Valentine's Day. And I always use this on Valentine's Day now. So I just went in with a few of the shades. I went in with Talk to Me in the crease. And then I just used Your Fave on the crease and defining shade in the outer corners. And then for the lid, I went in with the Super Shock Just My Type. And I find that this one works better when you just put it on without a glitter glue. And then it's just a really nice wash of color. And then for my brow bone, I went into On Your Mind. And then for the inner corners, I used Cuddle Up. And that's everything. And this Cuddle Up shade is so pigmented on the inner corners. It's so pretty. I almost just went in with that one on the lid, but I've used that one quite often in this palette, so I wanted to use something else. I was going to use blush in, but it kind of swatched a little red. So I wanted to use something more pinky toned. I always end up going for the pinky tones for Valentine's Day, not so much the red. Because when I think of Valentine's Day, I think of pink, red, and white. So then I went in with my LA Girl liner in the shade Whites. And then I just went in with my ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then I didn't want to use anything too heavy on my face because my nose was still, like, irritated from blowing my nose all day and yesterday. But I did take a Claritin today, so that definitely helped. And I just picked up some more from Target and 4 more books because I'm nuts. And then for my base, I went in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in the shade 1. This is so beautiful. I love it so much. It's just such an easy, lightweight product. And then for my concealer, I went into the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the shade 95. And then I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder. And then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. I definitely have a cold, so yeah, it sucks. And then I haven't been sick in a while, but I was hoping that it wasn't going to be the flu. So I'm like, thank God it's just a cold. And then I went in with the ColourPop Matte Bronzer in the shade Alviva Beach. And then I actually thought I was getting a flu last night because I was really tired yesterday. I'm pretty tired today, but yesterday I was just exhausted. And I was like, I really hope I'm not fatigued because I'm getting the flu or something. So I think it's just a cold. And then for my blush, I went into the ColourPop blush in the shade Swirled. And then for my highlight, I went into the ColourPop Pressed Powder Highlighter in the shade You're Glowing. And then I set my face with the Do It Spray. And then I set my... Well, actually, I used the Rare Beauty... I was about to put this into this box. The Rare Beauty setting spray because I wanted to make my skin a bit dewier. Even more dewier with the e.l.f. Halo Glow. So it's a very dewy combination, but I really like it. And then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Blush Gel. And then for my lips, I just went back into the ColourPop Glowing Lip that I have in the shade Candy Kisses. And that's everything that I used. I didn't sleep that great yesterday, though, because I think I was in my bed a lot yesterday because I was just, like I said, reading and watching Desperate Housewives. So it was marvelous. I was thinking about filming, but I was like, you know what? I just want to give my skin a break. But also, like, sometimes it used to be when I was, like, younger or, like, in college and whatever, my colds would usually be the worst, like, the first and second days and, like, the third day. And then it would start getting a little bit better by, like, the fourth day on. But sometimes if my colds start out milder now, they'll get progressively worse. And then I'll develop a cough. So I really hope I don't develop a cough this time because I don't work until Sunday. And if I don't feel well enough to see my boyfriend on Friday, I'll just stay home again. But I am supposed to see one of my friends tomorrow, like pretty far away. And I really don't want to cancel on him because we haven't seen each other in months. And every week that we plan to see each other is like something happens. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. But if I don't feel well enough, I might just be like, I'm so sorry, but I felt a cold coming on a couple of days ago and I don't really want to get you sick and blah blah blah. So I don't know. We'll see. And then Saturday it's supposed to snow again. So yeah, just winter time I don't really do that much. Like it's just full of snowstorms. So okay, and as far as a reading update goes, I did start A Court of Silver Flames yesterday because on I think the last reading update I gave you guys was that I was reading Court of Frost and Starlight on Monday because I finished it on Monday night because again that book is not that long. And since I didn't do my makeup yesterday, I didn't tell you guys that I started this yesterday because I didn't do a makeup look yesterday. So I got 200 pages in yesterday, which is really, really good. I did listen to some of the audiobook last night when I was showering, and then I did listen to quite a bit of the audiobook getting ready today and coming home. So now I'm on page 286. And this is the last longest book that I have to read. And then I can finally move on from Sarah J. Maas and jump into some other authors because, again, Sarah J. Maas has just been taking over my life. But I had to read this series and I am so committed to it. So I only have like 450 pages to go once I hit page 300. So I'm hoping to have this done by like Saturday. So yeah, I'm hoping to get a significant chunk read right now. And that's it. And then I can finally move on to some new books. So I picked up the King of Greed series, I think it is, or King, like the Seven Deadly Sins series. So I picked up King of Wrath, King of Pride, and King of Greed because they actually had all three books at Target this time. Usually they just have the most recent one that came out, but they have all three. So, and they only had one copy of King of Wrath. King of Wrath, I think they had two, and King of Pride, they only had one. So I was like, yes, now I can get all three because I've been actually looking for them every single time I go to Target. But Target is buy one, get one half right now. So I also got another romance novel, but I've actually been eyeing this one for a little while, and it's called The Good Part. And it just sounded really cute, and it has a really high rating on Goodreads. It has like a 4.12, and that's really good for a romance. Anything 4 and up for a romance means that it's a good book. So, in general, any books that are rated, like I said, 3.5 or higher is what I'm going to buy. Anything under 3.5, I usually don't, unless it's like a series I'm really interested in. I really want to get the Atlas series. That one's like a 3.7, 3.8, which is still not bad. So yeah, that's it. Bye. My nose is running, so bye. Okay, so hey there guys. I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for yesterday. I got home too late to see what my makeup look was. But I went and visited my best friend yesterday. I finally got to see him after like 4 months because like we just had like, well, like kind of like 3 months because the last time I saw him was Halloween. So I was just so happy to see him yesterday. I came over his apartment and he made us dinner and we just talked for like 4 hours and it was great. He really is like the friend that always has something to say and talk about, and it was just great. It was so much fun catching up with him. But I haven't really been sleeping that great lately. I still have a cold, but honestly, like this cold really isn't that bad. It's more so like just me not being able to sleep. That sucks. So, yeah. I was thinking about seeing a sleep doctor today But I think I'm going to do that on Monday. I'm going to see if I can fix my sleep schedule first. And then I think I'm going to go next week after this weekend. But yeah. So anyway, I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kaja lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior powder, the Backstage powder. And then for my eyeshadow, I combined two Oden's Eye palettes. I used the Batty Bean Planet Spirit palette and the Merry Christmas palette. I probably should turn the light on, right? I have to get rid of all these prescriptions that I have. I have like Flonase and Claritin. I just didn't unpack them yet. So anyway, I went in with the Merry Christmas palette first. Because I wanted to do like a tealy green kind of eye, and I went in with this shade right here, which is New Leaf. I only used 2 of these mattes, so I'll just say those really quick. I used this one in the crease, and then I used this one, Christmas Tree, on the outer corners, and those are the only 2 shades I used from this palette, just because those were like the tones that I wanted from this palette, and then the rest was from this palette. So from the Planet Spirit palette, I used Kingdom as the defining shade, and then I used Familiar all over the lid. I don't think I've even used this more than like once, maybe twice, so I was kind of happy that I went back into this palette, because I think that this palette's great. So it's like the same like great Oden's Eye quality that I'm used to. And then for the inner corners, I went in with Majestic. So that's what I used from the Oden's Eye palettes. And then for my waterline, I went into the black liner from LA Girl. This was just the first liner that I saw, so I just used that. And then I went in with my Essence Lash Primer, of course. And then I just went in with my Amico Lay Mascara. And then I went in with my Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. I just sound exhausted. Like, I don't really have a cough. And again, I sound a lot worse than I actually feel. It's more so, it's just because I haven't really slept in the past like 2 days. So I really need to fix my sleep schedule, because I'm like miserable right now. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I went into the House Labs foundation and concealer. I went into the Triclone Skin Tech foundation in the shade 050 Fair Cool, just because I haven't used either of these in a little while, so I wanted to use them yesterday. And then the House Labs concealer, I'm in the shade 01 Fair Neutral. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Dior powder again. And then for my bronzer and my blush, I just went into my House Labs bronzer. This is the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in the shade Light Level 1, so I just wanted to use that. And then for my blush, I went into the Pomelo Peach by House Labs as well. This is the Color Fused blush. I actually don't think I've used this in a little while, so I was like, I need to use it today or yesterday, whatever, since we're obviously like filming these 2 looks. I think I'm going to see my boyfriend later. It's just like, I don't think I'm going to see him till like later, because I'm really tired. And then for my highlight, I went into the Oden's Eye Soul Mane highlighting palette, and I just took this shade right here, which is called Mane. So there's I think this one's Soul and this one's Mane, so I just took that color because it's just so pretty, and I wanted to use more Oden's Eye, and I love this palette. This palette's so good. And again, always Oden's Eye like looks amazing whenever I use it, their highlighters, so I can always count on them to look good. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I really am so tired. I really thought if I spent like the whole day out, like out of my bed, and then like the only time I went into bed is to watch Desperate Housewives and read a little bit, that I thought that it would have helped, and it didn't do a damn thing. Like, I was still tossing and turning all night. And then for my lips, I went into ColourPop's Minute Man just as a lip liner, and then I went in with the Colored Rain matte lip paint, or is this, I don't know what this is. It's called Satin Cream. It's just a liquid lipstick. So that's everything that I used yesterday. And then, where's my book? Maybe I just... Where did I put it? Did I leave it in the bathroom? Hold on. Sorry, I left it in the bathroom. I usually don't do that. So now I'm up to, oh, that really hurt. Chapter 52, so I'm on page 522, so I have like 200 something pages left. So that's really good. I have been listening to the audiobook pretty much every time I get ready. So that's been helping to get through the book a little faster. So I don't know if I'm going to have it finished by tomorrow, but I think by Sunday, like Sunday night, I'm just going to finish the book. So that'll be great. I'm hoping to be on like page over 6 something tomorrow. Like I'm obviously going to hit page 600 today. And then I only have 150 pages left. And then I'll read my 100 pages tomorrow. And then hopefully I'll just have the last 50 pages to finish on Sunday. So yeah, that'll be great. I figured I was going to finish it by Sunday. So that's it. I'm going to go because I really need to wash my hair and just wake myself up a little bit because that's really going to be the only thing that makes me feel a little bit better. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I wanted to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm still really tired, but yeah, just really tired. This is really bright. I don't know why that's so bright. Let's turn that down a little bit. Yeah, that was way too bright. So I just saw my boyfriend today, so I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer. Then I used the Kajal Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. And then for my eyeshadow, I went into the Druid palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. And I just wanted to do like a neutral look today, so I used Root in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Old Growth and on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I just went in with Bare Form. And then for the inner corners, I went in with Regrowth and a tiny bit of Balance just to add a little bit more sparkle, and that's it. But now I think I've used all the shimmers in this palette twice, and this palette truly is beautiful. If you were thinking about trying Fantasy Cosmetica, I highly recommend them. I think their formula is wonderful. Their mattes are so silky, smooth, and blendable, and the shimmers are just stunning, so smooth on the lids. I would recommend this formula for mature lids or younger or middle aged because it's like just so smooth on the eyes. I think anyone can wear these because the shimmers are so spectacular. Oh, it's just such a wonderful formula. So I really love this palette. And I'm glad that I used it a bit more. I was really tempted to get their new palette, the blue one. I forgot what it's called, but it's just such a pretty palette, and I think that's like the color story from them that I've been the most interested in since this one. But I felt like it was a little bit too similar to the Oden's Eye Merry Christmas Eve palette because it has a lot of blues and yellows in there, and since I had gotten that Oden's Eye palette, I really loved the combo of blue and yellow together. So I don't know, we'll see. I might end up adding that palette just because it's so pretty. Like I really haven't gotten too many palettes this year besides the Nomad and the Nomad Stargazing and the Ensley Rain Cold Moon palette, which is I'm obsessed with. I love that Ensley Rain palette. I'm probably going to wear it tomorrow so I can get a little bit more use out of it. And then because I'm seeing one of my friends tomorrow. And then for my liner, I went to the LA Girl liner in the shade Brown. And then for my mascara, I just went into the Essence Lash Primer. And then I went into the Tower 28 Jet Black Mascara. And then I went into the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then For my face, I prime with the Do It spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. Sorry, I'm texting my friend about a movie that he hasn't seen that we're going to watch tomorrow because Dune Part 2 comes out next month and he still hasn't seen the first one and it's on Netflix. So I'm like, we have to watch it before it's off of Netflix because I think it's supposed to be off of Netflix at the end of February. So, and then for my tinted moisturizer, I went into the Cali Ray Free Dreaming Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint in the shade The One. I still love this. I love this. It's such a good product. And then for my concealer, I went into the Bendy Avocado Concealer from First Aid Beauty. And then I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder. And then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I just went into my ColourPop Elviva Beach bronzer just because it's just the easiest. And even though, like, I've been wanting to use cream bronzers lately, it's just easier to use a powder bronzer sometimes when I'm, like, in a rush. And then for my blush and highlight, I actually went into this little e.l.f. Bite Size Duo. I haven't used this in quite a while, so I'm like, let me actually just use it today. And the reason why I don't use this too often is that I think it's going to be like really orange, but it's just like such a pretty soft peach color. So I just went in with the blush and the highlighter. So this is the Duo in white peach, and it's just so pretty. So I'm glad that I finally went back into this because I haven't used it in a long time. And then I set my face with the actually the Rare Beauty spray, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. And then for my lips, I went into the Makeup by Mario lipstick that I got a couple weeks back. Again, I think this is only the second time I've used it, but it's just such a good lipstick. So this is the Super Satin lipstick in the shade Flat Iron, and it's just a really pretty nude. So yeah, that's what I used today. Again, sorry that I didn't have my makeup on in this clip, but I don't think it really matters if I show you guys like my makeup before. Actually, did I do that? Yes, I did. I was like, did I film a clip of my look? And I did. And then as far as a reading update goes, I'm not sure what page I was on when I told you guys earlier today because I filmed that clip earlier today of what my makeup look was yesterday. But I'm on page 568 now. I listened to the audiobook quite a bit today. I still read like 40 pages of the actual book earlier today, and then I think I got through another 40 pages with the audiobook, or actually almost 50 pages. So yeah, I think I've gotten through almost another 100 pages. So I'm hoping to be done with this book again by Sunday, so I can finally start reading some of the other books that I picked up. And those books will really not take me as long because they're only like 300-page books, and like I want to get into some romances and some thrillers and some other series, and I'm so excited. But I'm just really, really excited for a fluffy romance because I've been really reading a lot of heavy fantasy. So again, Sarah has just had my heart, but the fact that I will have read both of her series, not Crescent City yet. I'm not committing to that till like way later this year because I want to read all the books that I have right now. And I'm not going to read Crescent City 3 until the paperback comes out. So I'm going to wait till the third one comes out on paperback, and then I'm just going to buy like the box set of all three. So then I'm just going to read them then. So that, again, that's not until like July. So I'll be reading plenty of other books by then. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I can't wait to read, just lighter books, but also like I've just had an absolute great time reading ACOTAR. Like I haven't been bored whatsoever. I really like this one. I really do. It depends on how the ending goes with this one though, because I think still my top two are A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Wings and Ruin. I really loved A Court of Wings and Ruin. It was a fantastic book. Like that's like my top 5 favorite Sarah J. Maas book besides A Court of Thorns and Roses and like Crown of Midnight, Queen of Shadows, and Empire of Storms. So we'll see if it makes it into the top 5 Sarah J. Maas books. But I've heard from a lot of people that this book and A Court of Mist and Fury are their favorites, but I feel like I have a different opinion, and I'm like, I love the first one and the third one, like, so much. So, yeah, that's it. Bye! Okay, so hey there guys, I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. Sorry, my hair's like a mess. I know I haven't had my makeup on in like every clip of this Everyday Makeup Lookbook, but it's just because I haven't had time to film the clip before I leave the house, so oh well. So I went to my friend's house today and we watched Dune and Tangled because I'm trying to catch him up on a lot of movies that he hasn't seen because he hasn't seen a lot of Disney movies, so we've just been going through them on his Disney Plus, and I usually come over like on a Saturday or Sunday and we just watch movies and order food, and it's just been a great time. So the winter time like is a lot like more chill for me. I don't go out as much, but I still see friends and like go over their places, so it was a good time. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I went into the Ensley Rain Cold Moon palette. And by the way, they just revealed their newest palette today. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Groovy Garden. Yeah, and I think I'm going to pick up that one too, because that one is actually very matte heavy. And I think the reason why they made that one even more matte heavy, and since they already made this one more matte heavy, and also like I kind of want to mix and match the mattes in this palette and that palette when I use this palette now. So I think I'm going to pick up that palette too, because there's only 7 shimmers in that palette and like 14 mattes. So that actually makes me really happy. And I think the reason why they made that one more matte heavy is because, you know, it makes it less costly, because the special shimmers that are in palettes makes the palettes more costly, but also for them to do their palettes at like $75, $80 is actually pretty affordable when you have this many special shadows in a palette. Like they do 21 shadows. That's a lot of eyeshadow and a lot of special shades. So I think that their prices are pretty reasonable when it comes to how many eyeshadows you're actually getting, because all the shades are special shimmers, or most of them are. There's only like 2 sparkly or 3 sparkly shadows in here, and the rest of them are all special shimmers, like duochromes and multichromes and glittery shadows that are really worth the quality and the price. So I think they're totally 100% worth the go. Or if you have the money to try them, I definitely would. So I went in with Winter Rose in the crease. Then I darkened up the crease more with Transformation. And then I used Mother's Night on the outer corners. And then for the lid, I really wanted to go into Snow Crystal again. So I used that one. It's such a stunning like bluish, pinkish orange shade. It's so pretty. And then I went in with Mauja on the brow bone. And then for the inner corners, I went in with Kion. I forgot for a second which one I used. So that's everything I used from the palette. Super easy, just beautiful palette. So try to use it any chance I get, but also I want to use it a bit more. And also before I get the other palette, but also what I really love about this is that it has like the background of the mushrooms, and also the new palette is called Groovy Garden with a bunch of mushrooms on the covers. I think that's so cute that they made like a warmer version of a mushroom palette. I think it's adorable. And then for my waterline, I just went into Prance by ColourPop. Really a great liner. And then I went in and I finally got some sleep last night. Oh my god, I was so miserable like the past 2 days. So I finally got some sleep. So hopefully we'll get sleep tonight too. I've just been trying to spend a lot of time out of my bed. So, because like, you know, people say that it's better if you spend more time out of your bed than more time in your bed when you can't sleep well. So, because I always watch shows or read at night. So, and then I went in with the Essence Lash Primer. And then for my mascara, I went into the Tartelette Tubing Mascara. And then I went in with the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. Did I say the reason why we watched Dune is because we want to see part 2 that comes out in like 2 weeks, and like he hadn't seen the first one. I'm like, we have to watch the first one so we can go see the second one. So, And I was actually really happy watching it again because I hadn't seen it in like 2 years. So it's just such a good movie. And then I went in with the Do It spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I just went into... Where is it? This is such a long clip already. I went into the Laura Mercier foundation again. I just really love this foundation. So this is the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation in the shade 1C1 Cool Vanille. I didn't even look at like my complexion. I just looked at my eyeshadow and just kind of looked like a mess when I came home. But it's just because I was laughing a lot when I was with him. And then for my concealer, I went into the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer in the shade 0N1. They're just really good products. So, and then I set my face with the Urban Decay powder, and I set my under eyes with the the Pat McGrath powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the House Labs bronzer in the shade Light Level 1. I love it, and I just wanted to use it again. And then for my blush, I went into the M Cosmetics blush in the shade Persimmon because I just love these blushes, and they were just in front of me, so I was like, I just want to use it again. It's so beautiful. And then for my highlight, I went into the Melt Cosmetics highlighter again. I really like this one. It's very pretty. This is the Digital Dust Highlighter in the shade True Love Never Dies from the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. I don't know if I actually set my brows today. I don't know. I don't remember. And then for my lips, I went into the ColourPop Minute Man lip liner. And then for my lipstick, I went into the Curse Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Legend. I don't know if this is going bad because it kind of smells a little bit funky. It kind of starts to smell like a bit like crayon. So I don't know if it's like starting to go bad, but whatever. So that's what I did for my face, for my makeup. And then I finished the ACOTAR series today. I finished the book when I was getting ready. I was like on page 618 when I woke up this morning. I didn't read until like 1 p.m. because like I actually slept, so I was just like laying in the bed for a while because I was so tired. But yeah, I read like 100 pages before I got ready, and then I just listened to the last like 25 pages on the audiobook while I was getting ready, and I finished it. And I can't believe I finished it in like less than 5 days. So I'm like crazy excited that I finished it. So now I can go into, it was incredible. I loved it. But this one was not my absolute favorite. It's a lot of people's favorite book along with the second one, but I have a different opinion. I actually liked the third book and the first book and the second book more. That's like my order. Number 1 is the third book, and then the number 2 is the first book for me, and then number 3 is the second book. This one's actually number 4 for me, but I will go into all my thoughts about it in a Get Ready With Me. I'm so excited to talk about it. Oh, just such an incredible series, though. But Sarah J. Maas is going to take a back seat for a while because I have other books that I want to read now, but that was just such an incredible ride, and I can't believe I finished all of her books in like 6 weeks. That's kind of insane to me how fast I finished them. But yeah, that's it. So now I'm going to start a romance. I'm starting this Spells Love literally right now because I had to go to my friend's house after I finished it. But yeah, I'm really excited. So yeah, bye. And I work tomorrow, so bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. So this should be the last look of the video. I believe there's only going to be 6 looks in this video because there was actually one day where I didn't wear makeup. So because it was actually like a snow day and I just spent like the whole day reading and watching Desperate Housewives. So I did work today, so I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Dior powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I used the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I hadn't used it in quite a while, so I wanted to use it today, and I did like a pretty simple look. I only used like 4 shades because I actually wanted to smudge some liner today because I was thinking about doing that for a while. So I just went in with the shade Andy in the crease, and then for my lid I went in with glitz all over the lid just for some sparkle. And then for the brow bone I just used MOD. And then for the like liner that I smudged on the lash line, I went in with the shade Groove because I've always watched Morgan Turner do this, and she actually ended up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually used 5 shades from the palette because I also used a shimmer on the inner corners as well. So I used that because I always see her talk about in videos that if you want to like do like an easy liner that like really doesn't take any time, and if you're not that great at liner like myself, you just take an eyeshadow with like a smudger brush like this, and then you just brush it along the lash line, and it's just so easy and so simple. And then for my inner corners, I went in with Psychedelic, and that's all I used from the palette today, and I think it turned out so pretty, so I really liked how it turned out. And then for my liner, I just went in with the LA Girl liner in the shade White. And then I went in with the Essence Lash Primer, and then for my mascara, I went into the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. I'm still getting over a cold, so let me just have a cough drop. And then for my, I just used the Essence Lash Primer. I don't know why I held that up. I literally just told you I used the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and then I used the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes, and then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then for my foundation, I went into my Dior Forever foundation. This is the Skin Glow foundation in the shade 00. I don't even know if they make this anymore. I can't remember if Dior has reformulated how many times at this point. I'm really not sure. But I used that. And then for my concealer, I went into the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 10NN. And then I set my under eyes with the Haus Labs powder. And then I set my face with the Dior powder again. And then for my bronzer, I also went into my Dior bronzer. Oh my god. Let me just like totally dig my nail into that. But actually like, this is pretty hard pressed bronzer, so it really didn't do much damage. So this is the Dior Forever Natural Bronzer in the shade 01 Tan Bronze. And then for my blush, I went into my Dior Backstage blush as well. So this one is the shade, can I open this? Like, why is everything such a challenge for me right now? So I went into my Dior Rosy Glow blush in the shade 012 Rosewood. And then for my highlight, I went into the Rare Beauty highlighter in the shade Mesmerize, just because I wanted to use it today. My skin looks a little bit dry right now, so I feel like it faded a little bit. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into my MAC Powder Kiss lipstick in the shade Reverence. But I feel like I want to do this kind of look again at some point because I think it's just so simple and so pretty. So that's everything I used for my makeup. And then, like I said, last night when I got home, I started the book This Spells Love. It's just a cute little romance by Kate Robb. I got 80 pages in so far. I didn't get to read too much today. I only got to read a little bit on my break at work, but I'm just going to read tonight for a while. Probably get like another 100 pages read at least. So I got like 60-ish pages read last night because, like I said, I did finish ACOTAR yesterday. So I was reading that for, I think it only took me like 2 hours to finish yesterday. So then I just went right into this one last night, and I am loving this book so far. This is so freaking cute. It's like the perfect palette cleanser for me after like a lot of heavy fantasy. So like, I'm like, I just want to read a cute little romance, and it's adorable. I really just don't want to stop reading this. I might get really far tonight. Like I might get to page like 200 at least. So, and I really want to finish it by Tuesday. So we only have 11 more days in February. So I'm hoping to finish at least 3 more books, like this one and then maybe 2 other books, but at least 3 books. So we'll see. So yeah, that's it. Bye. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 to check out my Poshmark at the same handle. And I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.